I'm so glad that I came to Basileia this year. I actually really did not want to come. I came here last year and I had a really good experience. Then I had a really tough year at school, and so I didn't want to relive good memories in a way. So if there's one thing I've learned during my time here, it's that just following God and allowing Him to do His work in us is honestly most important and will really reap abundant blessings in heaven.
So this is my first year at Basileia, and I honestly did not know what to expect. A bunch of people said, "You're gonna love it, you're gonna be blown away." And actually that's exactly what happened, because I've never been in such a beautiful place with so many people that love Jesus, and I think I've just been blown away by the amount God has taught me in the last few days. It really feels like I've been here for 2 weeks, just because of the amount I've learned and the love He's shown all of us here. And I think this is the highlight of my sophomore year, for sure, hands down. Maybe even one of the best things I've done while I've been at Eastman. So I highly recommend Basileia, and I want to come back next year and the year after that, and for as many years as I can until they kick me out.
Being at Basileia has really showed me what a personal relationship with God should look like. For a long time, I compared my relationship to God with other people's and thought that mine wasn't good enough, that other people had a better relationship with Him than I did. But God has just showed me so much of His love and His greatness here that I can't wait to make it about Him and I, and just to grow closer and closer to Him. And just to really live out my life with Him every day, with Him every step of the way.
So this week at Basileia has been absolutely wonderful. I've been encountering God not only through the sermons and the activities we do in our tracks, but also in the nature, which is absolutely amazing, because I do not get to do that back at home a lot. And it's been amazing also to learn to listen from God through prayer, and to use my prayer as a weapon against Satan, and to intercede for people. It's just been amazing.
So Basileia was just a really great place for me to experience God through many different ways. So the environment here is just great. It's at Saranac Lake, and the lake here is beautiful with amazing trees and rocks, and the weather's pretty great most of the time. So as soon as I got here, I just immediately felt God's presence and had this desire to just go walk in the nature and spend time with God, which I didn't always have during the busy school time at Eastman. So being here, you're here for nothing but God and experiencing His kingdom and His love with other people who also love God in that same way. So here I'm at the small group leaders track, and yeah, here we just learned about how to reach out to all corners of campus and to invite everybody into experiencing God's glory and His kingdom. We also learned how to facilitate a small group using the inductive Bible study method, focusing first on observations to get good interpretations of what the passage is trying to say, and then to be able to ask challenging application questions that really will transform your life after you do a lot of these Bible studies. So yeah, it's just a great place here, and come to Basileia. They have good milkshakes.
So I think my favorite part about Basileia that I keep realizing over and over again is just how awesome it is to be in a place where you can meet God. And I think that's what Basileia is really all about, is just being in an environment and in a community that just has such a spirit, and you get to there's so much time throughout the week to just basically just chances and encounters that you can have with God, which is super, super cool, especially in such a beautiful place. And yeah, I just always appreciate, every time you go to Basileia, something happens. It's never it's not just, you can't just run through the motions. You'll meet God in some way, and it's really, really powerful every single time. And yeah, it's just been a wonderful time, especially growing closer with all the other people in the chapter. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I think we've all have deepened a lot as Christians, and just learned a lot about ourselves and about who God is, that it's easy to forget throughout the year when we're not able to spend this much time just in focus of Him. So it's just been wonderful, delightful.
So one of the biggest things God's been teaching me so far this year at Basileia is what it really truly means to worship Him. And I've been asking Him a lot what He wants me to look like when I worship. And I think God's telling me it doesn't really matter what you look like, it matters what your heart looks like. And just being in that atmosphere of, a lot of times in worship when you're hearing everyone's voices, I just stand there and not sing and just let it all soak over me, because the power of praising God was really made manifest to me this trip, and seeing how He can work through worship. And as musicians, that's my calling, is to be a worship leader in a way, and in all the music I play. And that the power of God through worship, like it says in Psalms, that He put a new song in our heart, a song of praise to Him, and many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. And I experienced that firsthand, especially when we did intercession prayer, when we prayed during the service and during worship, and just listening to the Holy Spirit. And one time he was telling me I don't want them to stop worshiping, and they're about to. And so I was just praying, interceding, and saying, Lord, don't let them stop worshiping, don't let them stop worshiping, don't let them stop worshiping. And then they kept going, and they sang. I talked to Hannah afterwards, and she was like, oh yeah, we actually sang a couple extra verses at the end. I was like, oh yeah, power of the Spirit. But that's something really powerful in worship, because God was saying, this is the song I'm going to use to pierce people's hearts. And it was Amazing Grace, and God was just I want them to keep singing, and He really revealing to me the power of worship. And so that's one thing He taught me, and another thing is the expanding my vision and what it means to truly walk in the Spirit, and not just walk in a Christian lifestyle, but really walking in the Spirit and living in the Spirit. I think that's one of the biggest things He's taught me, and expanding my vision and teaching me what that really means.